Hello, welcome back. Welcome again to another Java tutorial video. So this is just a quick video on just how to overload and what overloading a function does. So overloading a function is essentially just you have a function or a method with two of the same names, but they take different parameter types, and that's kind of like how it distinguishes each other from another. And depending on what you pass, like the data type or parameters you pass through it, it will call either or those functions. For example, I'm going to create two functions. One will take an integer and one will take a string. And I'll demonstrate kind of how that works. I'll call the one with the integer and I'll call the one with the string parameter. And I'll just kind of like show how the parameters do kind of affect the way in which the methods are called. So let's just put overload. It can just, yeah, it doesn't have to be named overload. It can be anything. It just be like banana. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this. And when I do, I'm getting like an error because duplicate functions and they have the exact same parameter type, which is none. They both take no parameters. So int I. Notice how the error is gone. So string text. Okay. So right now I have one that takes an integer for a parameter and one that takes a string. And in this way they kind of differentiate themselves from each other. So let's just kind of like print, just to kind of display to you guys visually how it would work. So print line, this is the function I will overload. It's technically wrong because they're both kind of they're both considered overloaded functions. So I'll just change this. This function takes an int. Okay, that should be good. Just because this one does take the int. And for this one, I'm just going to copy and paste this really quickly. Takes a string. Okay, so that's what we want. And we'll just call that. So banana. And we're just going to pass an integer through it. We're just going to pass 5. It doesn't really matter what we pass because I don't really use I in any of the functions, and I don't really use string either in this function. So yeah, let's just run it. Okay, so as you can see, when I call banana and I pass 5 through it, it automatically just goes to this function and it doesn't go to this function. And that's just because like this function takes the integer. So it's just, yeah, it's just gonna go. It's just gonna match the data type and the parameter with it. And then if I were to just pass like a string, so I'll just do like text, not text. Oh God. Okay. And that should call this one because we're passing a string through it, and this one is the one that takes the string. So let's just test that out. This function takes the string. And we can kind of do the same thing if we were just it doesn't even matter. It doesn't really matter what type of data type is really being passed through it, as long as the parameter itself is different. So if we just do int j, so now we have an int I and we have int I and j takes two ints. And so let's just pass two ints, 1 and 2. And that should go to this function since this has two integers. It's parameterless, so 1 and 2. Okay, so yeah, that's just a basic overview of what overloading a function is. This may not seem useful, but it is actually very convenient because, to be honest, like once you kind of like get into kind of like bigger programs, and once you like get into inheritance, you're gonna want to overload your functions just because like the naming scheme, you know, names kind of do get similar, and it's best to just kind of overload it. And yeah, that would be all. Thank you for watching.